Hello, it's Kendra, and it is Saturday, which ordinarily means it's time for a Speedy Stitches. But I have tried like 5 or 6 patterns, and I'm just not feeling Speedy Stitches this week. Just not. And I also realized there was a video I wanted to film yesterday didn't happen, and if I made something today that I really wasn't feeling, it was just going to feed in to this problem. I have a lot of whips. Things that I either was originally like in love with the project and got all this momentum and then just stopped. Things that I hit like a standstill, something wasn't working, or I ran out of something, or I was frustrated with the yarn or the hook or whatever, and so I had to go and sit in the naughty corner. And sometimes those timeouts become very, very extended. And some of the things I just never really loved to begin with, so why did I even bother starting them, right? Some of them are for obligation-y kind of things that I signed up for, like crochet alongs or things I knew other people were making or whatever, and they weren't the thing I wanted to be doing at that moment. So when I was setting up my office and unloading all my craft stuff, putting it into this room, I have a lot of things that need to be gone through, and I either need to freak out and finish them, like go, oh my goodness, what was I thinking, why is this not done, or I need to frog them. So right now, we're going to take part in a bit of Freaker Frog. Here we go. I'm going to just show you first what we're working with. So over here, in this armoire, I have a drawer. Let's see if I can get it open for you. So over here in this armoire, I have a drawer. It's a deep drawer. It actually is meant for like hanging files. And I decided that that is all of my whips need to fit in this drawer. Right now, I had to put you down because I cannot physically open this drawer with one hand. In addition to these, I also have a bunch of things in the bottom of that bag, some things in here, and then over by my computer, there's some more things. Most of those things, however, are designs in progress, and that's kind of a different beast because you have to be in the right mindset to work on those. So I don't feel quite as strongly about those, and hopefully I can clear some room in here that they will have a place to have a home. And then of course, you know, there's the few items that I am currently working on, and those project bags are in the various places where I work on them. So I just start at the top of the pile and decide whether the items I pick up are going to go on my freak out, put them on my hook list, or I'm going to frog them, because good yarn does not belong in bad projects. Okay. So starting at the top of that drawer, we have this, which was, I believe, started as my attempt to make a tablecloth, I'm gonna think, something like that. But yeah, it's not laying straight. Obviously the gauge is very bad. This is very good. Peaches and cream in the color Billowing Blues. I only know the color because I bought a ton of this on the crate sale, like clearance, when Yarn Inspiration still had their e-tent. So I'm gonna frog this. Also in here is this, which I believe was the beginning of a cozy I was working on, but I'm never gonna finish it, so I'm gonna frog this too. I think this might even be made out of scraps. We'll see. Gonna frog that. This might even, it's looking in here like a group of things that I had intended to frog and just haven't gotten around to. Again, this is a cotton cozy, but ew, look at that seam. I remember making this. I made this like, I had not been crocheting very long, and it is ugly, and it is going to get frogged as well. Now this is part of a design I had made. I had been writing patterns for another website for a little while, and I had made an Easter egg dishcloth, and this was one of my test subjects, which was ultimately tweaked, and yeah. But this one's ugly, and it looks more like a Christmas bulb than an egg, so it needs to be frogged as well. And oh, here is a seahorse that I made because I forget why. I was trying to use up this yarn for something though. I think I wanted something with a sea theme, and yeah, I'm never gonna use this, so I'm gonna frog that also. And finally, this hat. I made it because I wanted to make something with the red, white, and blue striped yarn that I had. and I want to make a cotton hat, and it's turned out very, very ugly. So I'm going to frog this as well. I think this is a good start, a good batch of cotton yarn to frog off the top. So I'll frog this, and then I'll check back in with you and show you where I ended up. Now, it has been a couple of hours, and I've made dinner and done all those things, and I have a new pile of reclaimed yarn. So here is what the results were. This was the red cozy. These are from the purple cozy. This is from the seahorse, so this little bit's going to go in the trash. These three were the red, white, and blue hat. This was the egg dishcloth, and this was the placemat. So the thing that I found most interesting doing this was that it made me feel better than having the things just shoved in a drawer. At first, I was not sure what the result would be, because, I mean, the reason they were in there was mostly out of guilt. I felt guilty I had put so much time into projects that I ultimately couldn't stand. I felt guilty that I had bought more yarn when clearly I have yarn to use. So now that guilt is gone. It was cathartic to frog it and roll it, and it has inspired me to make some new things. So as I was doing this, the things that came to mind, this and some more, I have lots of this yarn, are going to become some placemats that I want to enter in the fair. Then this, the red, white, and blue, is ultimately going to become some soap sacks because I think the striping will work out okay for that. And these are just going to go into my kind of scrap thing to become more dishcloths and scrubbies and just things like that that I keep little bits of cotton around for. So I'm going to add those to the cotton yarn stash and put them in the cotton yarn drawer. I hope this has inspired you to not feel so bad. Sometimes you won't like a project, but good yarn does not belong in bad projects. So why don't you pick up one of those whips today and decide, are you going to freak or are you going to frog? If you're going to freak, put it on your I'm doing it list and get to doing. If you're going to frog, just frog it. And then you can make it into something more worthwhile. And if you do any of those things, go ahead and either leave a comment below of what you're working on or tag me on Instagram at HookedByHappenstance so that I can see what you are pulling out of that drawer and getting on your hook or back into stash. See you next time. Bye!